This is Channel 4, monitoring the continuing story of the countdown to the Super Bowl.
The playoff race continues today as the surging Dallas Cowboys travel to Soldier Field to battle the Bears. Another chance for a trip to the Super Bowl, plus action from yesterday's game.
You're unbelievable.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Before we move on to our second day of playoff action this weekend, some big news out of Tampa Bay. On Friday, Bill Parcells and Hugh Culverhouse, the owner of the Buccaneers, reached a $6.5 million five-year agreement for Parcells to become the new head coach at Tampa Bay. But late last night, Culverhouse called Parcells to ask when he wanted to announce the deal. And Bill told him he'd had a change of heart and will no longer be moving to Tampa. And this is what Hugh Culverhouse had to say about it today.
We now feel as though we've been jilted at the altar. I now have more empathy for people who have been in that position. I regret it for not only the team, but for the fans and for this community, because I thought we had reached a milestone upon a turnaround. I respect Bill Parcells' decision. I don't like it. I'm not angry, but I am disappointed.
Jilted at the altar. So the plot thickens. Will it be Green Bay or television for Bill? Only time will tell. Now back to the action. Yesterday, 12 teams were vying for a chance to become the champions of the NFL. Today, there are only 10, and 2 more will be eliminated this evening. But before we move on to those games, here's a quick recap of what happened yesterday.
The Los Angeles Raiders came to Kansas City as the only wildcard team to have gone on to win the Super Bowl, while the Chiefs were playing their first ever playoff game at Arrowhead Stadium. The home team dominated the first quarter with an 11-minute, 16-play opening drive that took them into field goal range.
The great veteran kickers, Nick Lauer, 33-yard attempt.
He doesn't miss many. 8 for 8 from this distance this year.
And he does miss here.
The Raiders' youthful quarterback, Todd Marinovich, making only his second start for the team, was quickly learning about life in the NFL.
Blitz. Stands in, intercepted. Cherry's second of the game. And run out of bounds by Marinovich at the 11-yard line. The second interception by the young Raider quarterback. That's 3 turnovers already by young Marinovich. This one giving the Chiefs an excellent scoring opportunity with a first down at the 11-yard line. Here is Barry Ward. Play fake's beautiful. Play faked, everybody. Touchdown is the signal.
Los Angeles did manage to struggle back with 2 Jeff Jager field goals either side of halftime. But despite the loss of 4 key defensive players, including All-Pro linebacker Derek Thomas with an irregular heartbeat, Kansas City was just too strong for the Raiders.
3:10 to go now. 3rd and 8 from Marinovich and the Raiders. Great time, throws the swing to Allen. Ball comes free on the hit, and the Chiefs pounce on it.
The resulting Chiefs drive gave Nick Lowry his 3rd field goal opportunity of the afternoon. After missing 2 earlier attempts, he made no mistake with this one. And at the end of a game neither team will be proud of, Kansas City come out the winners 10-6. The afternoon's NFC wildcard game matched 2 arch rivals, the Saints and the Falcons. New Orleans had won the division, and Atlanta was out for revenge.
2nd and 8 from the 26-yard line. 6 minutes into the game, no score. Bears stepping up again. Over the middle, wide open, touchdown, Turner. 45-yard field goal attempt for Morton Anderson, one of the best ever And that looks like a kick off the foot of one of the best ever. Miller throws, and they take advantage with a touchdown to Risen. 44-yard attempt. From 45 or less this season, he's been perfect. 17 of 17. From 44, he tries to tie the game. And he does.
With 35 seconds on the clock, it took New Orleans 3 plays to move within field goal range. And as the clock ticked toward halftime, they attempted to regain the lead.
And New Orleans has the lead.
But the team that lives on the edge was ready to do battle.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Lost it into the end zone for Haynes, and it is a touchdown. Michael Haynes. With Jordan offset, Tyson motion. They give it to Hilliard. Touchdown Saints. This to tie the game.
And the
20.
And the crowd reaction tells you whether that was good or bad.
2nd down and 9 at the 39-yard line. Blitz. Haynes makes the catch. Haynes into Saint territory. Michael Haynes, who was born and raised in New Orleans, has just scored a touchdown that may have taken the Saints out of the playoffs.
With 1 minute 10 seconds remaining, New Orleans was still in the game with a 1st down and 10 at Atlanta's 35-yard line.
Hebert throws, and it's picked off at the 30-yard line by Tim McKyer. And McKyer's going to gamble by flipping it to Sanders. They should just fall down.
That's not very smart.
No, but they live on the edge, and they keep living on the edge, and they're going to go to the playoffs on the edge. Are they for real? This is Joe Fishback for a touchdown.
We've got an illegal forward pass, which is a 5-yard penalty on a receiving team.
I don't think there's any doubt that this was a forward lateral. Dion was at the 40 or behind it when he had the ball leave his hand.
So the touchdown was disallowed, but it didn't matter. The Falcons ran out the clock and win it 27-20.
Well, Hammer, I've been rehearsing with Hammer behind the scenes. You know, my dream is to be a rapper, to be just like Hammer. And we've been rehearsing behind the scenes. I haven't quite perfected it, but we're still working.
Put it this way, everything that you're doing, we like. That's sweet. That's sweet. That last movie looked like magic.
They took it away from you. They took it away, but like I said earlier, the key thing was the whole world seen it.
Everybody seen it.
And it was proper.
It was proper.
Down the stretch, 2020, same score as the last time. I think everyone here maybe expected what was going to happen. Did you guys feel you're going to win the game at that point?
Oh, we definitely, we had faith all the way through. If we doubted ourselves 1 minute, that's a sign of a loser. Therefore, we had faith all the way through. And besides, we too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit, maybe, but despite my support of my old team, they must be more disciplined if they hope to move on to the championship game. Yesterday, 2 penalties on special teams lost them 11 points. And that last play, it was fun to watch, but foolish. But you can't argue with the results, as the Falcons, along with the Chiefs, moves on to the 2nd round, where the Bills, Broncos, and Redskins and Lions await them. Who plays who in the AFC will depend on the outcome of today's match between the Jets and the Oilers. But we already know the Falcons, as the NFC's surviving wildcard with the poorest record, will be playing in the nation's capital next weekend against the Redskins. Going into most playoffs, there are normally 2 teams that most people expect to see compete in the Super Bowl, and this year is no exception, with the Bills and Redskins firmly established as favourites to meet in Minneapolis. The difference this year, however, is that there's no teams being pushed as pretenders, let alone contenders, as competition to these favourites. But I think we may be surprised by the teams we see in the Super Bowl. The Oilers' defence is underrated, and their offence is as potent as any in the league. And they'll certainly push the Bills if they meet in the AFC Championship game. But it's the Redskins that may be pushed the hardest by the team that gave them the most trouble this year, the Dallas Cowboys. But first, the Cowboys must get past the Bears.
Offensively, the Cowboys have loaded guns, both rushing the ball and catching it. Michael Irvin leads the league in receiving, and time and again he's shown his propensity for the big play. On the ground, it's Emmitt Smith, whose dazzling 160 yards last week against the Falcons enabled him to pluck the league's rushing title from Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders. Their last 5 outings brought with them 5 victories. The Cowboys are on a roll, and as if Mike Ditka didn't have enough to think about, one of Dallas's brightest stars, starting quarterback Troy Aikman, could return today after 3 weeks of rehabilitating a bad knee. This is a lethal combination of players that should ensure points for the Cowboys. Unfortunately, their defense doesn't boast the personnel of its offense, but with 7 sacks against the Eagles just 2 weeks ago, this group knows its potential. And following the examples of veterans Tony Casillas up front and Bill Bates in the secondary, they'll distribute their fair share of bear hugs before the end of the game. For Mike Ditka, things are not nearly so rosy. After last week's 52-14 ambush by the 49ers, it's fair to say the Bears lack momentum. Neil Anderson, one of the league's premier rushers, has been hobbled by a hamstring injury, and a once dominant offensive line may be beginning to show signs of age. But time and again, both Anderson and his line have answered the bell for the big game. If they come out to play, and quarterback Jim Harbaugh is given the time to find wideout Tom Waddle, who's quickly emerged as his go-to receiver on big plays, then the Bears are in with a chance. But it's the defense that must perform. Pound for pound, this group is tough to match. William the Refrigerator Perry is reportedly weighing in at over 400 pounds and looks every bit of it. Richard Dent has also gained in pounds and lost some speed, but both are still very capable football players, as is team leader Mike Singletary. And although it's fair to say the 85 versions were far scarier to the average quarterback than these 91 models, they're still formidable, and it would take a brave coach indeed to underestimate these aging monsters of the Midway. As if anybody can get a dying bear to perform, it's the Papa Bear himself, Mike Ditka. When he prowls the sidelines, Bear Cubs and Grizzlies alike perform, and today he'll be prowling. So without further ado, let's go over to Soldier Field. Our match commentators are Pat Summerall and John Madden. We pick up the action on the game's opening drive.
1st and 10 Bears at their own 48. The opening drive of this wild card game. Cowboys jump offside. Casillas was too early.
There are flags on the play.
Dick hand-tagged the referee.
It's nice to see an official wear glasses. At least they admit it.
Yeah.
You knew before, man, they can't be that old and none of them wear glasses.
Defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 1st down.
Yeah, it's nice. And he's the guy that threw it. So you know one thing, if you're going to throw it, you better see it. And if you better see it, you better have your glasses on. Yeah, but there were years that officials never wore glasses.
And wouldn't admit that they wore contacts even.
Yeah, and so, yeah, but even think before they had contacts. I mean, there were always a bunch of blind guys out there, and I knew it.
That's your opinion, and you're sticking to it. Huh?
I'm sticking to it. Instant replay or no.
Here's Harbaugh back to throw it. Jim Jeffcoat got the hand on it. It was intended for Neil Anderson.
Incomplete. Tipped away.
That's usually what happens when you block a guy too well. Look at all the time Harbaugh has. He has too much time. Wojciechowski was doing a heck of a job of blocking Jeffcoat. He didn't even get off the line.
2nd and 5. Buster and Anderson behind Harbaugh. Now he starts Anderson in motion. And back to throw. Casillas chased him out of the pocket. Harbaugh got rid of it to Muster. Maybe they got 2 yards. Jeffcoat put the heat on that time.
I think Jeffcoat got the sack. Here's Jeffcoat here. He's going to come around here. I think he got the sack before Harbaugh gets rid of it. Watch him. He's working on Wojciechowski. So he just gets a good push right there. He gets the sack. The ball was blown dead right at that point. So it's going to be spotted there and a sack for Jeffcoat.
Harbaugh chased out of the pocket again, and down he goes. Ball is loose. He might have been down, however. No, it's Dallas ball. I'm sure they'll take another look at it. Tony Hill made the recovery.
I think Tony Hill, you watch, Harbaugh is going to get hit. You see, he's looking to his right, can't find anyone, starts to run, and he gets hit from behind, right there. You see, he gets hit and the ball's knocked out, and then Tony Hill, number 90, right there, jumps on it.
So it's 1st and 10, Dallas. At their own 49, they open with 2 tight ends. Novacek is the man on the move. And the handoff is to Emmitt Smith. Smith out of bounds by Wolford. Steve Berline opens at quarterback. What a job he's done. The offensive line in front of him, Tuine, Gogan, Stepnoski, Giesick, Nate Newton, and Jay Novacek. The league's leading rusher, Emmitt Smith, with Darrell Johnston, the other runner. Harper and Irvin. What a great year he had as well. 2nd down and 2. 3 tight ends set up this time. Again, it's Novacek on the move. Emmitt Smith. 1st down, Dallas. McMichael on the bottom of the pile. This is the Bears' basic defense. Armstrong, McMichael, William Perry, and Richard Dent, the 4 up front. Rivera, Singletary, and Morrissey, the 3 linebackers. In the secondary, Wolford and Stinson, the corners, Carrier and Gale, the safeties.
Of course, what they're playing now is a 4-4. They took their corner, Lemuel Stinson, out, and they put in a 4th linebacker, Dante Jones, number 53. They're playing with an extra linebacker as a corner.
Berline outside to Harper. A gain of 6, stopped by Wolford.
You can see what the Bears are doing. See, they only have 3 defensive backs here, and then they have 8 guys here, and that'll be 4-4, 4 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. So what they're doing is, especially when the Cowboys have tight ends in there, they're going to match up with an extra linebacker.
2nd down, they need about 5. Berline to Smith. Emmitt Smith around the corner. Smith knocked out of bounds by Carrier at about the 15. A gain of 19.
Hey, this guy is something, Emmitt Smith. You watch him, they don't know where he's going. This is a draw play. It's starting in the 5-hole, then it goes to the 7-hole, then it bounces out to the 9-hole. You start inside, then 1 hole out, 1 hole out. Even his offensive lineman, we're talking to Nate Newton yesterday, and he said, that guy is something. He said, they call a play, and you have no idea where it's going to end up.
You just go with the flow.
He went with the flow. He went in 3 different holes.
Harper in motion. There's Emmitt Smith again. Spins out to about the 12. Singletary. We were talking to Emmitt Smith yesterday, and that's the way he described himself, a busy type runner, and indeed he is.
And he says he has a low center of gravity, which makes him tough to tackle. He runs straight ahead, not a north and south type of guy, steps in and out of tackles. And the big thing is, you only get one side of your body. A good running back never gets square on a tackler and will never get hit square. He said he can only remember getting hit square once this year. He said someone else had him, and he got hit square in the face.
Berline back to throw it. Intended for Novacek, who was belted just about the same time the ball arrived. Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator for Chicago. 3rd and 7. Berline on a draw play to Smith, and he's cut down and fumbled. Ball's loose. Not enough for a 1st down. Dallas still has the ball, a pickup of 3. Willis will come on to attempt a field goal.
If there's anything that has haunted the Cowboys, and they haven't had a lot of haunting lately, but it was a couple of Emmitt Smith fumbles in the middle of the season. They were saying that he was down before he fumbled. I don't know about that. Oh, no. No, he wasn't down. That ball was hit and popped right out of there. I think if the Bears recover, that's going to be reversed. There's no way that he's down anyway. Look, that ball was hit right there by Richard Dent, and it popped out the first time his hand got on it.
I think Smith got the ball back at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing.
To the offensive team who recovered the ball. 4th down.
Novacek will hold. Ken Willis will try for the field goal from 26 yards out. Willis' kick is good. 3-0 with 7:05 left to play in the first quarter. Dallas breaks on top. Soldier Field in Chicago. The Cowboys lead it 3-0. Their scoring drive, 8 plays, 42 yards. They kept the ball 3:41. Willis then hit the field goal to put them ahead 3-0. Lewis and Gentry back deep for the Bears. Willis will kick it off. Line drive kick. Bounce to Mark Green. And Green is down at about the 27, a 13-yard return. Stopped by Mickey Pruitt. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 3-0 Dallas leading. They recovered a fumble by Harbaugh at about midfield and took it down for the field goal. 1st and 10 Bears at their own 28. Harbaugh to Anderson, hit in the backfield and knocked down after a perhaps no gain. Ken Norton made the first contact.
One thing the Bears are going to have to do here, they're going to have to loosen that Cowboy defense up because they start with 7 up there. They have all their linebackers stacked. They don't have anyone up in the line of scrimmage. And then just before the ball snap, they're bringing 2 of their safeties up. So they start with 7 of them up in there, and then just before the ball snap, 2 more come up. So they are really trying to take away this Bear run.
Gentry split wide to the left. Gentry stay. Here comes Harbaugh. This is one thing they feared. We can't let him beat us scrambling. Vincent Smith comes up to stop Harbaugh after he picked up 6 yards.
And when we were talking to Jimmy Johnson last night, the one thing he said that he worries about more than anything in this Bear offense is this right here. You give him a lane, Harbaugh's going to take it. Then once he takes it, he is a big, strong, quick runner. And he said if there's anything that he worries about, it's Harbaugh scrambling and running with the ball or scrambling and throwing a deep one against you.
3rd and 3. Ball's at the Bear 35. Waddle is the loop man. Harbaugh hit just as he let it go, and the ball's knocked loose. Incomplete pass. Waddle had it, but it was knocked loose.
Yeah, those Cowboys hit at both ends of this one. They hit Waddle on the other end, and they hit Harbaugh on this end. Harbaugh, just as he throws it, boom, he gets it there. And at the other end of it, watch the other end, and watch what happens to Waddle. Just as he catches the ball, he gets hit.
He got hit by Holt. Tolbert is the guy who hit Harbaugh. Maury Buford in the punt. Kelvin Martin back deep for Dallas. Oh, they're after it. They blocked it. The Cowboys did. Trying to scoop it up. It's going to be a Dallas ball at about the 10.
Jimmy Johnson said he had to win 2 out of 3 phases. He said he thinks they're going to win the offensive phase and the special teams phase, and that's where it was, right there in the punt block.
Brownlow
What they do is they overload a side. You see the overload right here on this side? 1, 2, 3. This is the side the blocks come. They overload one side, and what they do is they get 4 guys on 3 blockers. And then you're going to get one coming free. The one that they got coming free was Brownlow, who came straight up the middle. Watch as he didn't have a chance. 3 blockers, 4 guys, one is going to be free.
First and goal at the 10. Emmett Smith to about the 6, stopped by McMichael. A gain of 4.
This is why Jimmy Johnson is such a good coach. He's involved in every phase of the game. He's not just an offensive guy or a quarterback coach or a defense. He's offense, he's defense, and he's special teams. And I'll tell you, this Dallas Cowboy team is a heck of an offensive team and a heck of a special teams team.
Berline. He's going to take off. And he's down at about the 1 by Richard Dent and Singletary.
You know, Steve Berline is not one of the quickest or fastest quarterbacks in this league or scrambler, but he uses the one thing a quarterback can use when he's running the ball. Watch him right here. He's starting to see him. He uses the ball. He fakes that. That will always take a little pressure of that defense off you. Right there. When you get him right there, that little thing there, and then that little cutback, that'll always give you something.
He got to the 1. It's 3rd and goal at the 1.
And this is what the Cowboys needed in this playoff, to get off to a good start.
Back to Emmett Smith. Smith is not going to make it by Singletary. A flag on the play.
That's respect there. So what Emmett Smith did, he got up there and he gave Mike Singletary a tap in the helmet.
Sean Gale made Smith go wide, and then Singletary made the stop. Penalties against the Bears, however.
Mike Ditka was really fired up after that Monday night loss. And that's all they could think about on Tuesday and, of course, Wednesday, Christmas.
On the defense, number 95. We will penalize half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Against Richard Dent.
Richard Dent is right up there in the end of the line of scrimmage. Right there, you can see him. He just takes his hand, and the guy blocks him. He gets his hand up in his face mask.
It is first down. And the handoff is to Emmett Smith. He didn't get in. And now they're saying fumble. And the Bears come out of the pack with the ball.
And the officials aren't saying anything. They're just marking the ball and waving their arms. Yeah, they haven't said which way.
The player has been ruled down by contact. Second down.
Not popular at Soldier Field.
This is goal line defense. The Bears play it very, very well. They're trying to get in there behind Nate Newton. Hey, it's tough to see in that pile where the ball is. But when the Cowboys run, they want to run to their right side behind Nate Newton.
It's about a foot away, and Smith again. Touchdown.
Good carry.
Now they got that one in there. Nate Newton is a 335-pound tackle, number 61. And as Jimmy Johnson said, if we need a short yardage, if we need a play, we're going to get in behind Newton. And he plays a right tackle. Now watch Smith. He follows his fullback Johnston in there. And at the bottom of that pile, leading that surge, is number 61, Nate Newton.
Big Nate said yesterday when he quit playing football, he was going to really get seriously heavy.
Said the highest he's ever been is 378. And I said, when? He said, every offseason.
Willis extra point is good, and the Cowboys lead 10-0. Here's the touchdown. in. 2:50 left in the first quarter. Ready to get underway in the second quarter with Dallas leading Chicago 10-0.
Yeah, the interesting thing there, the Bears had the one turnover. That was the Harbaugh fumble. But then the other big play that doesn't count as a turnover was a block punt. So the Cowboys have 2 scores as a result of a fumble recovery and a blocked punt.
Wonder why a block punt doesn't count as a turnover.
I don't know. It should. You know, you would think it's a turnover, except that I guess it's a 4th down play, and you were going to get it anyway.
I guess. Harbaugh incomplete. Intended for James Thornton.
Did you see Waddle? He was wide open. He was down this right side, and there was no one around him.
No one even close.
No one covered Waddle. He ran down the right side. Watch him. He's here. I don't know what happens here, but Waddle runs straight down the field, and there's no one there. Now watch him here. He goes by him. Look at this. I mean, if Harbaugh sees that, it's 20 yards. Look at Mike Ditka saw.
He's over there.
He's saying, look at Waddle. He was wide open. He gave a little out and up, and Holt went for the out, and Waddle had the up.
Harbaugh to Anderson. No gain. Jeffcoat. Maybe he lost a yard.
I think Mike Ditka's looking for that play again that can get Waddle. Of course, I think it has to be a 1st down play, though, Mike. But I think when it can get Waddle on Holt, where Waddle can give him a double move, somewhere they'll come back in this game and get that play. Everyone saw that one, and I think they're all talking about it.
Yeah.
We blow a chance for an easy 7.
Harbaugh out of the shotgun this time. 3rd and about 11. Gentry's the man in motion. He has some time. He has Waddle. The guy's amazing. Ray Horton upended him.
And I'll tell you, he gets hit every way but loose. Watch him. He's going to come in this zone, work up, then he's going to come in here to the middle. There's the throw. He has to go up for it. He knows he's going to get hit anyway. The ground cannot cause a fumble. So once he catches it, he has to come down with it in control. I guess they're saying that he had control. I don't know about that. I'll tell you, you see him coming off the field, and he doesn't have those eyes focused.
Not quite.
Well, I mean, you know, you talk about having cobwebs. That's cobwebs, and this is how he got the cobwebs. Look, he got upended there, and 1, how he caught that ball, that was some feat. But 2, how he holds on to it. Look at, see it, it's cradled there. How he held on to that ball until that whistle blew. Those were 2 amazing plays.
1st and 10 at the 11.
0-69.
Harbaugh for Davis. In the end zone and down. James Washington thinks he had an interception.
Well, what happened, I think Ike Holt tips the ball to James Washington. I don't know that the ball hit the ground, but number 30, Isaac Holt, is a defender. Watch him. Now, he tips it up in the air, then Washington comes in right there. I think the ball hit the ground now. And that was a good coverage by Holt and tip to Washington. Now, did the ball hit the ground?
Incompletion. 2nd down.
Ruled incomplete. 2nd down.
Mike Ditka said yesterday, he says, we got to take some shots. That was one of his shots.
The ruling on the field was that the ball had touched the ground prior to being picked up by the defense. After further review, play of stands is called on the field. Incompletion, 2nd down.
Jimmy Johnson was over there giving the signal. We caught it. We caught it. There is a guy who has done a heck of a coaching job, though.
Really?
His first year, he was 1-15. Year darn near made the playoffs, and then in the playoffs.
That's Muster. He is out of bounds at about the 2. A gain of 9.
Isn't Muster something the way he runs? He looks like he's running in slow motion all the time, but the other guys don't get there. You know, you think, why can't the guys catch him? He's not going that fast. And then you look up and he's already made 8 or 9 yards. And he gets up limping. You know, he's had a couple of hamstring pulls this year.
And a problem with his hip.
This one looked like he was grabbing his right knee. I know a couple of times he pulled hamstring. That's been his biggest problem. See what he did? He switched the ball to keep the ball in his outside arm, and then he was able to use his inside arm as a straight arm.
Muster limping back to the bench.
I'll tell you, one guy that misses him is Jim Harbaugh, because Harbaugh has a heck of a lot of confidence in Muster as a receiver, as one of those get-you-off-the-hook guys.
Darren Lewis, a rookie from Texas A&M, has taken Muster's place. Harbaugh doesn't make it. Del Rio, no gain.
That was an ugly-looking quarterback sneak. I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Watch him. It's a delayed thing. He's going to come to his right. He's trying to find a hole there. He runs right into the backside of his own guy. No one blocks anyone. That was an ugly, ugly goal line play.
There's Muster over on the sideline. They're going to measure.
Yeah, because, of course, the Bears can get a first down here. But that one, I mean, you got to take the ball, boom, you got to go, and you got to get your guard and tackle blocking. They didn't have any blocks or any run by the quarterback.
Looks like about the length of the ball, short. Greg Landry with Mike Ditka looking over his shoulder.
I would think that Neil Anderson, the money that he gets and as good a back as he is, and he's as healthy right now as he's been all year, I would think that I would get the ball in his hands somehow down here.
I think that would be a very wise choice. Anderson is going to be the deep back. Lewis in front of him. That would seem to be the plan.
68.
Anderson. I don't know. He might have lost a yard. Tony Tolbert was the first Cowboy there, and Dallas takes over.
Yeah, they got it in his hands, and he didn't make any yardage. Of course, they tried the quarterback sneak. And you're going to think you would like to run something straight in there so you can't lose yardage. If you knew that was going to happen, you would have kicked the field goal.
Yep. 10-0. Dallas still lead.
The Cowboys were forced to punt on their ensuing drive, but soon regained possession again when Larry Brown intercepted Jim Harbaugh in the end zone. This time they marched up the field and got in position for Ken Willis to attempt a 38-yard field goal.
No good. Hit the upright. 10-0 here at Soldier Field. Dallas leading Chicago. Harbaugh back to throw it. Chased out of the pocket. It'll be Tolbert. Pressure on again. Intended for Waddle. But he had no chance.
Well, I'll tell you, if you look at the first 4 possessions of the Bears and you look at the way they ended, that's what's really killing them. They had a fumble on their first possession. Their second possession, they had a blocked punt. And then they lost it on downs when they went for it on 4th down. So everything, they have some pretty good middles, but the ending is for everything has been disastrous for the Bears.
2nd and 10. Waddle again is the man in motion, and Harbaugh gives to Anderson, thrown for a loss by Jack Del Rio and Russell Maryland.
Yeah, this is a tough situation for Coach Mike Ditka here because he wants to run and he doesn't want to abandon the run. But every time he runs the ball, he's not even getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage. So now you have the frustration that you don't want to just go pass, pass, pass every down, but every time you run, you're not having any success with it. Now, like Neil Anderson so far has 6 carries for 1 yard. Now, that's not the Neil Anderson anyone knows.
3rd and 13. Bears back up to their own 17-yard line, and Harbaugh to throw it. Gets it out of there. It's caught by Waddle. Ray Horton knocked him down, but a gain of 15.
If the Bears don't have Waddle, they don't have anything today. I mean, he's the only offense they got. The Cowboys are using a zone here, so Waddle's just working against the zone. He's running an in pattern, you know, finding that hole in there, but you'd think somewhere you'd start bumping on the line or get some guys against Waddle because they don't seem to have much else going today.
He's amazing. Aaron Lewis. Excuse me.
No, I was saying that's what makes it fun.
Lewis was the man in motion. Here's Harbaugh. Gets it outside to Lewis. Out of bounds at about the 44 by Isaac Hope.
By Isaac Hope. A gain of 11 on the completion.
First down Bears. That's his first career reception. So that's worth another look.
Right, well, here it is. He starts in motion, and then he's just going to run it out. He started on the left side, came across in motion, ran it out. No one came with him. It was a zone. They were all playing off, and Lewis just caught the ball underneath it.
First down Bears. The handoff to Anderson. That might be his longest gain of the day, 5 yards. James Washington made the stop with an assist from Russell Maryland.
Did you see Neil Anderson on it? He had his head down. That's the thing that Neil Anderson developed when he hurt his hamstring. He's not keeping his head up, and he's not looking to make cuts. Watch him here. He just puts his head down. You see here, he's just going to come in this hole right there. See him put his head down. He should have his head up and looking for cuts because that's the way Neil Anderson usually plays.
Well, when you have a bad hamstring, which has been bothered by all year long, you can't make those cuts.
And that's the thing that hurts him. I mean, he can still run, but he can't make the cuts.
Lewis to the 40 of Dallas. 11 yards.
Aaron Lewis is a rookie who's given some life here to this Bear team. They needed, we were saying that Mike Ditka loves to run the ball, and their runner's always been Neil Anderson. Brad Muster is hurt, so they have to get it for someone, so they're going to the rookie Darren Lewis. And he caught a pass, gave him a little life, and now he gets that big run for a first down that gives him some life.
And a first down.
The Bears do need life.
And again, that Dallas defense has been out there a long time. They show blitz again. Harbaugh gets rid of it for Waddle. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it. Brown was the Cowboy cover man.
And because Harbaugh was throwing to his left and coming straight at him on the left was an unblocked Cowboy. I think they went overbalanced to that side. And you watch from his left side, you're going to see a guy come free. You see it right there? Again, it was Jeffcoat, and that was the side that he had to throw to. So Harbaugh saw Jim Jeffcoat coming all the way and knew that he better get rid of that thing.
2nd and 10. Bears at the Cowboy 40. Just over 3 minutes left. This is Lewis again. Lewis has another Bear first down. Gain of 11, stopped by Smith.
You know, it's funny how the running game can give you life. And I've always said the best friend of a quarterback is a running game. Look at the pressure Harbaugh's been under. He's been sacked, hurried 7 times, knocked down 6 times, had 1 batted ball, and he's had 1 intercepted. And, of course, he's also fumbled 1. So you don't want to have to do it all the time. You want to get some of this going.
First and 10 Bears just inside the Cowboy 30. Harbaugh outside to his tight end. Out of bounds at about the 18-17 make it. A gain of 13. Brown knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, but isn't it funny how a completed pass doesn't give you life? The thing that gives an offense life is a run. And they didn't get it, and they were trying, and then finally Darren Lewis comes in, gives them a little life, and now boom, 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 the Bears are starting to get things going again. But congratulations to the Falcons and the Chiefs.
First and 10. Handoff is to Lewis, and again, he slashes for good yardage. That'll be another Bear first down. A gain of 11, James Washington.
Boy, if you were a coach, Pat, you stand there in your sideline, you say, boy, this guy came to play.
Where's he been?
Yeah, why didn't we put him in before? I mean, someday you just have it, and it's your day, and you got that extra life, and you got that extra bounce, and this guy has it today, and he's giving it to this Bear offense.
Lewis has had the ball 4 times, 1 pass reception, and every time he's touched it, he's gained 11 yards.
That's not bad. That will always get you a first down. Like Ditka's thinking, we have to get one in here.
First and goal at the 6. Lewis to about the 2. Stopped by Casillas. But he got 4 yards, so that'll hurt his average of 11.
I'll tell you, he's a powerful guy. You know, this Lewis isn't a little guy. He's like 5'10", but he weighs 230 pounds. So he was a 6th-round draft choice, as we see here. But he is a powerful guy, and he's a big man.
Speaking of big men, Madison.
Ron Mattis goes in as an extra blocker. He goes in as a tight end down here in the goal line.
Second and goal at the 2. That's Anderson. To about the 1. Stopped by Del Rio.
Okay, I think Darren Lewis came in there, Pat, and even gave Neil Anderson some life. I think he gave Mike Ditka some life. I think he gave Greg Landry some life. I think this guy spread it around because they didn't attack it the first time they were down there. The Bears didn't attack the goal line the way they're attacking it this time.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. Harbaugh in conversation with Greg Landry, who at times calls the plays, unless Mike Ditka decides he wants to call the play.
I'll guarantee you one play they're not calling is that stupid-looking quarterback sneak they ran earlier. As you said, though, Pat, that Dallas defense has been out on the field a long time in this first half, and they could start to wear down.
Harbaugh needs it a little bit more quiet than it is. Gets his wrist and he's ready to go. Anderson didn't make it. No gain about the 1 hit by Tony Tolbert. Now what?
Now you have to kick the field goal. There's no decision here.
Here comes Butler.
Like I said, they got some points. You have to get something on the board. They got down there. They can't get it in. They were down here the first time they ran a quarterback sneak. They tried to sweep. That didn't work. Here they tried to bang it in a couple of times. They didn't make any yards. The Dallas Cowboys have whipped them on the goal line this first half, and you better take your 3. Watch them here. They don't get any movement. You see the Cowboys get penetration. They got 2, 3 extra guys there. There's no chance for the runner.
Harbaugh will hold for Kevin Butler. A 19-yard field goal attempt.
Ready.
And the Bears get on the board.
Well, with 15 seconds left, Dallas ran out the clock, and so the halftime score, 10-3, the Dallas Cowboys. I hope you all will enjoy John Madden's commentary. I personally love him, and he'll be doing the Super Bowl, so that's good news. So far in the game, the Dallas Cowboys defense has played exceptionally well, especially goal line stands. They've had 2, and the Chicago Bears have only come away with 3 points. But my feeling is that so far, the Chicago Bears have given the game away. I mean, it's only halftime, they can still come back. So far, Harbaugh and Waddle have been excellent. They've not really run the ball well, but let's not take it away from the Dallas Cowboys. The other thing is their defense is playing well. Where are they losing it? I think on special teams. Personally, I've said it for years that the special teams coach, Steve Kazar, and their special teams in general stink. And I'm going to show you why I say that. It's a little bit harsh on the telestrator. Here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dallas players to the right of their center, who's right here. 1, 2, 3 to the left as Maury Buford looks at them. That means there's an overload to the right. That means the center must always snap the ball to the left of Maury Buford. Maury said yesterday, I was talking to him on the phone, he said, heck, I can have a good game if they let me kick the ball. Look what happens. The snap is bad and it comes to the left. But also, watch these 2 players, Ron Rivera and Jim Morrissey. These 2 guys must shore up the middle of the field, not allow anyone through. Watch when the ball's snapped. First, it's to the right, towards the overload. Now watch. Jim Morrissey, badly coached, he goes to the outside. He's got to stay in the middle. It means Ron Rivera's got 2 players. It means Brownlee pops up in the middle, free. Boom, block punt. 7 points to the Dallas Cowboys when they got the ball back around the 10-yard line. You can't do that. So in the second half, expect to see a more disciplined Chicago Bears and hopefully better work on the special teams. I don't know if Mr. Kazar is going to be there again next year. There again, Mike Ditka might not be either. The way head coaches are dropping. By the way, if some of you are wondering if Ken Norton, the player out there for the Dallas Cowboys, is any relation to the one that used to throw his fists around, he is in fact the son of the past heavyweight champion of the world. How about that? Now it's time for the answer to last week's competition. If you remember, we offered you 6 touchdowns and asked you to pick the top 3. Here, in a time-honoured tradition, are the answers in reverse order.
Going deep for Chris Carter.
Oh, what a great
Carter makes a one-handed catch. Touchdown, Vikings.
On 3rd down, Wilson back. Across the middle for Anthony Carter. Oh, boy, is that pretty to watch when he gets in the open field. Touchdown!
Ron Hall, the tight end, will set up on the right side. From an eye backfield, it's Gary Anderson following his rookie fullback Wilson, and he's outside and he's loose. Gary Anderson, and he might have a shot to take it all away. Mark Carrier won't catch it.
So the correct order was C, D, F, and the first postcard that agreed with our panel of judges was from Mr. Brian Carrick of Milton Keynes. Like our other winners, Brian's name goes into the end-of-season draw for a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 26, to be held during our live coverage of the championship games on January the 12th.
Well, congratulations, Brian. I have to admit, I had them in reverse order. But that's why we have a vote, and we're still sifting through the post for a winner of our second prize of the seats in the Royal Box at a London Monarchs home game. We'll announce a winner for that next Saturday. This week's competition offers you 6 of the best defensive touchdowns scored this season, and another chance to catch those scores is coming up after this break. Welcome back. As promised, here's another chance to view our top defensive touchdown competition. Coming up are 6 of the best from this season. Simply pick your top 3.
Back, right side, picked off. And here we go. Ray Crockett. And he's going to showboat it a little bit as he goes in.
Enormously important drive for Miami, and Sammy Smith loses the ball. It's taken by Martin of Kansas City. He's on the run. It's a live play, and there's no flags down. Martin, still on the run, is going to go the distance.
deep sideline, intercepted. Eric Turner. Touchdown.
Rice, the lone back. Picked off by Horton. Touchdown, Dallas. From the 6, Craig in the offense, throwing out of his own end zone and going for the bundle, looking for Brian Blades. It's up for grabs. McHires with the interception. Hands it off to Sanders on the lateral. Sanders on his way, may go all the way. Only Craig, he's in. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Tupa with all kinds of time. Throws an interception. Second pick of the day by Wilbur Marshall.
When you've decided on your top 3, put them in order on a postcard, together with your name, address, telephone number and the name of your favourite team. Then send it all to NFL Week 18, Cheerleader Productions, P.O. Box 1298, London W4 1RA. Our winner will receive an NFL starter jacket of their choice and their name will go forward to the draw for the grand prize of a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 26.
Well, good luck with those. As last week, we're also offering a second prize of 2 seats in the Royal Box at Wembley for a London Monarchs home game. Tickets are selling like hotcakes, so if you're thinking of going to some games, book your tickets now. But remember, our Royal Box seats are not for sale to the general public, just for Di and you. So get your entries in by next Friday, and we'll announce a winner next weekend. Now let's go back to Soldier Field. When we left, the Cowboys were leading 10-3, and on their first drive of the third quarter, they had a chance to extend that lead with a field goal. But Ken Willis missed his 47-yard.